And I guess more people will join.
Niklas, right.
But then let's maybe just sit in stillness from now on, unless we have something important to discuss. But then let's maybe just sit in stillness from now on, unless we have something important.
There's a bit of feedback.
Echoing. There's a lot of echo.
Just mute the
It's a lot of
live stream
echoes.
if you have it on YouTube.
Yeah. I guess we will be in a super precise. Yeah.
Let's keep the patience and wait a few more minutes. I know a few more people who will join.
Arthur's, is everything okay with technical things?
It seems like things are going streaming. Maybe someone will reassure. Josh seems like
We are on YouTube. We are on YouTube.
So everything is working, yeah?
the main thing is that Josh, the forest is behind you and it's working. All the rest are technical things.
Should we start, guys? Or wait a bit more? Okay, let's wait a few minutes more. We should have music here or something. Arthur's, sing something.
Say something. Good evening. Do you ask me if we can start? You can conduct this. You can start.
Hi guys. Okay guys, we have some technical things because Niklas and I are in the same room. But now I know that the people are not don't get caught in the waiting room and everyone enters the link. So yay, we're all here. So welcome to the third event in our festival, 21 Days of Conscious Living. And today is a very special day because today is the National Love a Tree Day. And I would say hug a tree and love a tree is almost the same, right? And we're really lucky because we have Mila Monk with us who will share. And I think Duvile will have the word now.
Okay, I would like to thank you, Mila, for coming here, for joining us. You are really special guest here for the special day. And I would really like to know more about you, and everyone of us wants to know it. So could you please tell us more about yourself, how you are connected with nature, with forest, what are you working on, and how do you help people? So please share a bit about yourself.
Okay. Hello, I'm Mila. Thank you for inviting me. It's so nice to be with you here today. So I'm a forest bathing guide. I lead forest bathing walks here in Lithuania, and now I'm in Juodkrante in the Curonian Spit, a special place in Lithuania where there is sea and there are very special forests. And in Juodkrante especially we have an old growth forest, and we had 2 forest bathing walks here today and yesterday, and it was really very special. So what is forest bathing? So forest bathing is based on Japanese studies, scientific studies about how the atmosphere of the forest, how it is good for our health. And we do not bathe in water. We could, but usually it's bathing our senses in the forest atmosphere. So we do special exercises which we call invitations, and we just immerse ourselves into the forest atmosphere through our senses. So today you will see our short film about theory of forest bathing methodology, about scientific research it is based on, and something about this methodology and how it could be used in our country, in Lithuania, and in every other country, because it's a rather new methodology. It's one of nature therapy things, one of the nature therapies, and yeah, so it's rather new in Lithuania too. Together, I'm also a translator, and together with a colleague, we translated a book by one of the pioneers of forest medicine and forest bathing, Dr. Ching Li, and his book Shinrin-yoku, the art and science of forest bathing into Lithuanian language. So shinrin-yoku in Japanese means forest bathing. So yeah, so and we called this film as the book, well, the art and science of forest bathing. So I guess we could watch the film, and then if you have some questions, we can just talk about it. Yeah.
Yes, I think we will have questions for you, Mila. But before, I would like to invite everyone to sit in stillness for a minute. So just close our eyes, sit straight. Just pay your attention to the body. Feel how it feels. Don't analyze anything. Just observe all the feelings, sensations in your body. Let's come back. Smile. And slowly open our eyes. So I guess we're ready to watch this movie. there is no sound for me. For you, the same?
There are no sound in my end either. If you want, artists, we can move the because we have a little bit more of a practice we want to guide. We can move this. Oh, now I see things are happening. I still don't have any sound.
If Edgar's is here, maybe he could help you.
Still no sound.
Or you should say faster a little bit. Okay. There's really was no sound at all those times.
Right,
Yes.
no sound each time.
Umila, how do you work if something haywire like this in the forest in your trips? If something goes haywire, like we are going haywire, what do you do?
Now I just sent the link to the movie where you can download it. So Lena, maybe you could do it. And you said you had more. Maybe you could just download it and you
Yeah,
would
where's
manage
the-
to make it sound. In chat.
In the chat? Okay,
Yeah.
that would work. And then I can try too.
Okay. Or I just
It's funny how, you know, when we do our test run and we made several different test runs, everything worked fine. And then,
Yeah, I know. It's every time it's like this. I know. We always have many.
Oh,
Yeah, so I just, yeah.
present moment has a funny way of working with us.
Okay, so sorry, Anshu, could you please repeat your question? So you said, what do I do in the forest?
Yeah, like I was asking, like till all this is getting sorted, if something goes off plan, like as we are going a little bit off plan, what do you do? Like, what are your steps to coming back to the center and the moment, or the forest brings you back to the center?
Okay, yeah, it depends.
There's
Depends
disasters and all these things.
On the group and on the forest. Usually, yeah, in the forest, well, the nature usually brings back to the center. I'm sorry, there are many sounds. I feel like in a space station.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, but you need to improvise a lot because there are many different people and there may arise different situations. But usually all are alive. I bring all of them alive from the forest. Yeah.
Mila, have you traveled around the world and gone to different forests, or have you just mainly stayed in Lithuania?
Well, I've traveled a bit, but not a lot because when I started this work, it was pandemic, then soon hit. So
Yeah.
yeah, so but well, I managed to go to Poland, to Białowieża forest, which is I guess the biggest old growth forest of Europe. So it's really
Ooh.
huge, yeah, and very old, and there are bisons living there, and we managed to see bisons, and it's really impressive, yeah. So we had the training for forest bathing guides. I went there as a trainer and a mentor last summer. So yeah, to guide a walk in this old growth forest, which is full of life, full of old, incredibly big and old trees. It's really is impressive. And just to
Yeah.
imagine that some time ago it was like this, sometime many thousand years ago, this
Mhm.
forest covered the whole Europe, and it's just remains of this huge forest, which is in Poland and Belarus now. Yeah.
That's awesome. I think the oldest trees we have here in Colorado are up in near the Continental Divide, where the waters either go to the Pacific Ocean or to the Atlantic Ocean. And there's a couple forests up there in our Rocky Mountain National Park with I think they're like pine trees called blue spruce trees that are nearly 1,000 years old and have been here since the Native Americans were roaming around before all the Western civilization even came.
Wow.
And it's yeah, I was able to go up there with my buddy and do a hike, and it's just another, I don't know, it's like another energy level to where it's just so welcoming and so peaceful, to where there's just the forest and it's not like I'm there or my buddy is there with me. It's just the forest and us walking living as one. And it's so wonderful to get up there and get into these forests and really reconnect with this essence that I feel is so vital to our well-being.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, trying again.
Still no sound.
Okay, then it will be like even more quieter than forest. It's next level. Okay. I will ask Edgar because I tried all kind of stuff in the morning. It was working. We were listening it together.
So Linnea, maybe we should do meditation at that time.
Oh, Mario's here.
So now we're catched up on Mayo. So good to have you here, Mayo.
Hi.
Well, Arthur, is it okay that we do the meditation part now?
It's quiet anyways. We can do it also with meditation. I feel quite quiet. I'm surprised. That's really nice.
Okay, so we will do. Mayo, you're just in time for practice. So take the correct body position, sit in a comfortable seated position with the straight back. Close your eyes. Recall on that stillness to really lead us into sensing inside the body. Just observing what is. And now bring all your attention to your hearing, to your two amazing ears. Let's try listening. We simply listen to the sound of the surrounding world without any tension, with interest, kindly. We don't expect them, we don't evaluate them. We are simply in the perception of sound. All attention is on listening. And now keeping a part of your attention on the surrounding sounds, but move the other part of your attention within your body. So now we're listening with the whole body. We perceive and feel the space with our whole body at once, not only our ears. Almost like your body is unfolding. To make even bigger surface to take in all the sounds of the world. And now let's move to a new element, what we call gratitude. Let's sincerely thank life for all that we have, for the lesson and the experience that it gives us. Thanking nature, thanking the trees, thanking the forest, Mother Nature that holds us. Each time when we fall, she's always there. With so much love, so much compassion. So let's thank Mother Earth, planet Earth, Mother Nature, life. Let's thank life itself. And for this opportunity we have here and now. And now let's bring our attention to our hearts. And from this gratitude, let's share love. Let's share the heart warmth, the most precious thing that we have. Let's share it with each other. Let's share it with all human beings. Let's share it with all the amazing trees. With Mother Earth loving us back unconditionally, never asking anything in return. Let's see if we can share this heart warmth. All the best that we have, all the best that we got. Deep, deep within our hearts. Let's see if we can make it even warmer. And now slowly keeping our eyes closed, coming back to our senses in your own time. You can start moving your fingers. Maybe do a stretch. And from here you invite the biggest, most sincere smile on your beautiful face. And slowly you can blink your eyes open. No need to rush.
Does someone feel like going to forest?
Welcome back. And now we cross our fingers and send a lot of heart warmth towards it, guys.
Sveiki, esu Mela Monk, vertėja ir miško maudynių gidė. Šias abi mano veiklas sieja tai, kad abiem atvejais aš esu tarpininkė. tarp rašytojo ir skaitytojo, tarp miško ir miško maudynių dalyvių. Miško maudynių gidas nėra gydytojas. Gydytojas yra miškas. Miško maudynių gidas padeda dalyviams miške būti sąmoningai ir panirti į jį per visus savo pojūčius. Taigi, kaip miškas gydo? Pirmieji miško poveikį žmogaus sveikatai ėmė tyrinėti japonai 9-ajame praėjusio amžiaus dešimtmetyje, kai Japonijoje sustiprėjo urbanizacija. Vis daugiau žmonių kėlėsi į miestus, miestai plėtėsi, buvo kertami miškai, nukasinėjamos kalvos. Dėl besikeičiančio kraštovaizdžio ir įtempto miesto gyvenimo tempo smarkiai išaugo streso sukeltų ligų ir net mirčių skaičius. Todėl valstybiniu lygmeniu buvo nuspręsta tirti miško poveikį žmogaus sveikatai ir steigti miško bazes, kur žmonės atvyktų stiprinti sveikatos, o surinkti duomenys būtų naudojami moksliniams tyrimams. Tokiu būdu buvo siekiama gerinti žmonių fizinę ir psichinę būklę, bei didinti gamtinių teritorijų vertę, kad jos būtų išsaugotos. Miško terapijos pradininkai, japonų mokslininkai profesorius Yoshifumis Miyazakis iš Čibos universiteto ir daktaras Čingas Li iš Nipono medicinos mokyklos išgrynino tai, kuo miškas naudingas žmogaus sveikatai. Jie išsiaiškino, kad pasivaikščiojus miške sumažėja kraujo spaudimas, sumažėja stresas, nes sumažėja streso hormonų kortizolio ir adrenalino kiekis, nuslopinama simpatinė nervų sistema, vadinamoji kovok arba bėk reakcija, suaktyvinama parasimpatinė nervų sistema arba ilsėkis ir atsigauk atsakas. Pagerėja nuotaika, sumažėja nerimas. Išauga gebėjimas susikaupti net vaikams kenčiantiems nuo dėmesio deficito ir hiperaktyvumo sutrikimų. Sparčiau gyjama po operacijos ar ligos. Padidėja energijos kiekis, pagerėja miegas, sustiprėja imuninės sistemos funkcija, nes organizme išauga natūraliųjų ląstelių žudikių kiekis. Nustatyta, kad tokį miško poveikį užtikrina daug veiksnių. Tai deguonis, miške jo natūraliai daugiau, taip pat fitoncidai, tai augalų ir medžių išskiriami lakieji organiniai junginiai, kuriais augalai apsisaugo nuo kenkėjų ir patogenų. Kai mes jų įkvėpiame, fitoncidai turi antimikrobinį poveikį, mažina adrenalino kiekį, stiprina natūralių ląstelių žudikių aktyvumą. Šios ląstelės žmogaus organizme aptinka patogenus ir juos sunaikina. Kitaip tariant, fitoncidai stiprina mūsų imunitetą. Dar mus teigiamai veikia dirvoje esantis mikrobai. Įrodyta, kad dirvoje esantis sveikatai nepavojinga bakterija, Mycobacterium vaccae, stiprina imunitetą ir gerina emocinę būklę. Taip pat natūrali saulės šviesa. Ji veikia kaip diabeto prevencija, nes reguliarus buvimas ryškioje natūralioje šviesoje didina vitamino D kiekį ir diabetu sergantiems pacientams mažina cukraus kiekį kraujyje. Dar ir neigiami jonai. Sakoma, kad jie suteikia energijos, atgaivina, padidina proto aiškumą ir stiprina geros savijautos pojūtį. Lauke yra daug daugiau neigiamų jonų nei patalpose. Jų itin daug miškuose ir prie krioklių, upių ir upelių. O poveikį emociniai būklei galima būtų aiškinti pavyzdžiui Rachel ir Steveno Kaplano dėmesio atkūrimo teorija. Ši teorija teigia, jog buvimas žaliausiose erdvėse ypač teigiamai veikia žmonių sveikatą. Triukšmingoje, stresinėje miesto ar biuro aplinkoje mes turime sutelkti valingą dėmesį, o natūralioje aplinkoje, gamtoje, dėmesys būna nevalingas. Jis atsiranda be išankstinio tikslo, jam palaikyti nereikia pastangų. Todėl gamtos aplinkoje pailsi ne tik kūnas, bet ir protas. Čingas Li savo knygoje Miško maudynės rašo, kad stresą mažina žiūrėjimas į pasikartojančias formas gamtoje, pavyzdžiui, besidalijančias medžio šakas, susisukusi sraigės kiautą, paparčio lapą. Tai vadinamieji fraktalai. Sudėtiniai geometriniai dariniai, kurių atskiri fragmentai yra panašūs į visumą ar kitus fragmentus arba jiems identiški. Moksliškai įrodyta, kad begaliniai gamtos raštai mus atpalaiduoja, netgi jei raštas yra labai sudėtingas. Richardas Tayloras, fizikos, psichologijos ir menų profesorius iš Medžiagų mokslo instituto Oregone, atliko daugybę mokslinių tyrimų. Naudodamas akių stebėjimo įrangą ir smegenų aktyvumą matuojančius įrenginius, jis stebėjo, kas vyksta, kai žiūrime į fraktalų raštus, ir nustatė, kad mes esame instinktyviai linkę reaguoti į gamtoje esančius fraktalus, o žiūrėjimas į tokius natūralius raštus gali iki 60% sumažinti stresą. Profesorius Tayloras paaiškino, kad vizualiai mes labai gerai pažįstame gamtos pasaulio raštus, nes mūsų evoliucija vyko gamtinėme kraštovaizdėje. Ir šis gebėjimas veikia atpalaiduojančiai. Mums malonu žiūrėti į gamtos raštus, nes mums jie gerai pažįstami. Tačiau kodėl miškas, gamta taip veikia mūsų sveikatą ir savijautą? Tai paaiškina biofilijos hipotezę, kurią išpopuliarino amerikietis biologas Edvardas Wilsonas. Iš graikų kalbos kilęs žodis biofilija reiškia meilę gyvenimui ir viskam, kas gyva šiame pasaulyje. Taigi, ši hipotezė teigia, jog mums būdingas biologinis ryšio su gamta poreikis, nes mes išsivystėme gamtoje. Gamtoje mums gera, nes būtent gamtoje mes gyvename didžiąją savo egzistavimo šioje planetoje dalį. Meilė gyvajai gamtai mumise nulemta genetiškai. Ryšys su gamta toks pat svarbus mūsų gerai savijautai kaip sveika mityba ir reguliarus judėjimas. Nors gamta mums gyvybiškai būtina, šiais laikais dauguma žmonių nuo jos dėja yra nutolę. Nuo 2000 metų mes oficialiai tapome miesto gyventojų rūšimi. 54% pasaulio gyventojų gyvena miestuose. Miesto aplinka ir gyvenimo tempas, stresas, technostresas, sensorinė deprivacija turi neigiamų pasekmių mūsų sveikatai. Su gyvenimo būdu susijusios tokios ligos kaip nerimo sutrikimas, perdegimo sindromas ar depresija tampa didelėmis visuomenės sveikatos problemomis. Pasaulinės sveikatos organizacijos duomenimis apie 350 milijonų žmonių pasaulyje kenčia nuo depresijos. Nors dauguma mūsų yra tikri, kad gana daug laiko leidžia gamtoje, juk laisvalaikiu, per atostogas mes mėgstame ilsėtis prie jūros, ežero, kalnuose, miškuose. Vis dėlto žmonių gyvenimo būdas dabar toks, kad didžiąją laiko dalį mes praleidžiame ne gamtoje. Sussexo universiteto ekonomistas George'as McCarronas atliko tyrimą, kuriame dalyvavo daugiau nei 20 000 žmonių. Dalyviai naudojo telefono programėlę Mepinės, kurioje turėjo fiksuoti savo buvimo vietą ir emocinę būklę. Paaiškėjo, kad nors laimingiausiai mes jaučiamės gamtoje, bet joje praleidžiame vos 5% viso savo būdravimo laiko. O net ir atsidūrę gamtoje mes dažnai nebemokame joje būti kokybiškai. Taigi, koks yra kokybiškas buvimas miške? Minėtieji japonų mokslininkai per 40 metų tyrimų išgrynino, kaip reikia vaikščioti miške, kad nauda būtų optimaliausia. Visų pirma, reikėtų namuose palikti savo išmanųjį telefoną arba bent išjungti jo garsą. Nusiteikti miške praleisti bent 2 valandas. Per tą laiką nueiti nedaugiau nei 2 kilometrus. Neskubėti, nepavargti, nes skubant išsiskiria streso hormonas kortizolis. Būnant miške, suaktyvinti jutimus – regą, klausą, uoslę, lytėjimą, skonį. Pabūti miške sąmoningai, nesiblaškant į pašalinės veiklas. Japonai tokį vaikščiojimą miške pavadino shinrin-yoku arba miško maudynėmis. Tai ne maudymasis miško upelyje ar ežere, nors po seanso galima ir išsimaudyti, jei tinkamos sąlygos ir norisi. Tačiau miško maudynės yra juslių panardinimas į miško atmosferą. Miško maudynės – patyriminė sveikatinimo praktika, kai su gidu arba savarankiškai vaikštoma miške ar žalioje erdvėje, neskubant per pojūčius, užmezgant ryšį su aplinka. Tam tikra seka atliekami įvairūs pratimai, kurių tikslas – atsijungti nuo gyvenimo mintyse, prote ir susitelkti į kūną, per savo kūną užmezgant ryšį su aplinka. Miško maudynių gidas padeda dalyviams suaktyvinti pojūčius, sulėtėti, prisitaikyti prie miško ritmo, lavinti pastabumą. Dalyvių dėmesys švelniai nukreipiamas į kūno pojūčių stebėjimą. Tai padeda jiems atsijungti nuo vidinio minčių monologo ir pajausti aplinką, tiesiog malonumą būti čia ir dabar. Po kiekvieno pratimo dalyviai sugrįžta į ratą ir aptaria savo patirtį saugioje aplinkoje, kurioje yra išklausomi, nevertinami. Japonai teigia, kad po tokio sąmoningo pasivaikščiojimo miške 2 valandas teigiamas poveikis organizmui trunka savaitę. O savaitgalio miške, vaikštant miške 2 dienas, 2 kartus per dieną po 2 valandas, iš viso 8 valandas, teigiamas poveikis organizmui trunka 1 mėnesį. Taigi, ką galima veikti 2 valandas miške? Štai vienas iš miško maudynių pratimų. Pratimas vadinasi miško garsai. Nueikite į mišką, parką arba tiesiog į savo sodą ir susiraskite vietą patogiai atsisėsti. Jei norite, galite užsimerkti. Įsiklausykite į tai, kas vyksta aplink jus. Koks pats tolimiausias garsas? Ką girdite šiek tiek arčiau? Dar arčiau. Koks garsas sklinda arčiausiai? Įsiklausykite, kuris garsas maloniausias jūsų ausiai. Pakvieskite jį, pabūkite su juo. Atverkite klausą visiems garsams, ir natūraliems, ir dirbtiniams. Galbūt išgirsite ritmą? Gal garsai susipins į vieną visumą tarsi miško orkestras, kai vienas instrumentas nutyla ir įsijungia kitas? Galite pabandyti ir patys įsijungti į miško garso takelio kūrimą. Įjunkite savo kvėpavimą. Įsiklausykite į jį, nekeiskite, tik stebėkite. Pajuskite, kaip jūsų ritmas natūraliai susilieja su aplinkos garsais. Galiausiai išgirskite tylą, rišančią visus garsus. Miško terapija kol kas yra visiškai nauja praktika visuomenės sveikatos srityje. Jos naudą fiziniai ir psichiniai sveikatai pagrindžia japonų mokslininkų tyrimai, taip pat kitos teorijos, tokios kaip biofilijos hipotezė, dėmesio atkūrimo teorija, fraktalų tyrimai, vaizdo pro langą tyrimas, laimės tyrimai ir kiti. Jos pritaikymo spektras labai platus. Ji gali būti taikoma kaip prevencinė priemonė gyvenimo būdo sukeltų ligų, tokių kaip širdies ligos, diabetas, depresija ir kitos profilaktikai, imuniteto stiprinimui, verslo sektorėje, kaip streso, pervargimo ir perdegimo prevencija ir gydymas, taip pat kaip komandos stiprinimo priemonė. Ją galima pritaikyti ir darbui su vaikais bei paaugliais, kaip fizinės ir psichinės sveikatos stiprinimo ir bendravimo įgūdžių lavinimo priemonė. Turizmo sektoriuje miško terapiją galima taikyti kaip tvarę atvykstamojo turizmo paslaugą gamtoje. Tai gali būti puikia alternatyva valstybinių ir privačių miškų valdyme, kaip gauti pajamų iš miško, jo neiškertant medienai.
What an amazing movie. I love it. And a lot of have been said, but I still got some questions. So my first question would be, this forest bathing is very beneficial, but is it known how many countries use this method to improve human health?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So the Japanese now have 62 forest therapy bases in their country, and people come to those bases just to improve, just to walk in the forest at several different trails, and they also gather some scientific data there still and do research. So there are scientists and doctors there, but also there are other Asian countries who have research and use the therapeutic side of the nature. So it's South Korea. They have this methodology which is called shinrin-yoku. It's the same as shinrin-yoku, and they have healing forests. They call them healing forests with forest therapy trails, and they have 2 national forest therapy centers, and they also train forest therapy guides nationwide, and it's very popular to go on in your free time on weekends to go to walk in the forest. Also China, in some parts of China and Australia, in America, I know that there are many forest bathing guides, and now in many European countries too. So in Lithuania, I'm the first certified forest bathing guide, but I already have a colleague with whom together we established the Center for Forest Therapy and Education. So we hope to have more colleagues and to have this service available in every resort or some every town of Lithuania. Yeah, thanks.
Maybe someone has questions? You can just unmute yourself and ask whatever you like.
I also have a question. So, and thank you for a beautiful video. I've seen it a couple of times now because I'm so fascinated of it. It's
Thanks.
very, very beautiful.
Thank you.
And actually, I think the first question should be how did you find this Japanese these Japanese studies about the forest bathing, and in a way it doesn't surprise me that this is a thing from Japan, because they have always, they have this tradition with the Zen gardens and yeah, something with the silence in nature.
Okay, thanks.
But the question would be how did you find?
So I just heard about the forest bathing from my friend who is the lover of Japanese culture. So it was, I don't know, several years ago, 7, maybe 8 years ago. And I thought, wow, such a nice and very Japanese subtle thing, to immerse your senses in nature. And then I had a professional burnout at work, and I was looking for means how to manage it, how to recover myself. And then I researched and found out that nature therapies are very good help from burnout. And then I found this Japanese practice of forest bathing and the Japanese research. So I just started to read about it. There were not so much material to read at that time, and also I wanted to find a forest bathing guide, but there was none here in Lithuania, and even in Europe I couldn't find anyone. So I wrote to the Japanese, but they said that they only have their program only in Japanese language. And then when I just was ready to go to Japan and see someone just to research more, then in Lithuania it was the first forest festival organized in a beautiful resort town of Anykščiai. And the organizers invited Dr. Chingli to come here to Lithuania. So I was preparing to go to Japan, and Japan came here. So I was very lucky. It was a great coincidence. And Dr. Chingli introduced his research to us. He is an immunologist. He studies immunity. So his research is related to immune system and the forest, how the phytoncides affect the immune system, the human immune system. And then he introduced us to his new book, this Shinrin-yoku, the art and science of forest bathing. And as I was a translator at that time, I was collaborating with the publishing house. I just offered the publishing house this new book, and they agreed. I'm so grateful that I work with such a great publishing house. Our values coincide, so yeah, we translated together with a colleague. We translated this book into Lithuanian, and thus the journey began. And I just found Forest Therapy Institute. It was not in Japan, and it was in Europe. So I, parallel to translating this book, I just finished the training of forest bathing guides.
Is this book in English as well?
Yeah. This book was published in English, and then it was translated in many languages, but into Japanese it was translated only last year or this year. So, though it was written by the Japanese scientist, yeah. But you can find it in English.
And as far as bathing helps to immerse ourselves, yeah, that's the goal. But if I don't have possibility to go to the forest, for example, can I do it right here, right now, where I am? And it helps as well, I guess, yeah. Because when we feel ourselves, our senses, it helps to reduce stress and be happy and everything. Yeah, but forest does like extra power, gives us, yeah.
Yeah, forest has extra benefits, but if you don't have a possibility to go out, it's possible to do forest bathing on your balcony with plants, or even inside if you have some plants inside. And even if you don't, you can just watch video of nature, and it's proved that it helps as well. Of course, it doesn't have, you know, all of the benefits when you are in nature, when you can inhale those phytoncides and fresh air and everything, but it's still better than just scroll, you know, through information. and you can also there are even there is research that view through a window also helps. For example, it helps to heal when patients who are in hospital and have a view through their window to a green space, they need less painkillers, and they go home earlier than sooner than those who don't have this view. So it also helps. And also, if you even don't have the view to a green space, you can just close your eyes and imagine you are in the forest. It also helps. So there are many possibilities.
It's amazing, isn't it? What, you know, this power nature has, and you know, also I just it shocked me a lot that we spend less or just around 5% of our time walking. When we walk, only 5% of our time we spend in nature.
Yeah.
And you know, this is where we come from, and we've just been so disconnected. What do you think, Mila, if we, you know, imagine that we all moved to the forest and live life in forest? How would that look like?
Well, yeah, it would be utopical. I don't think we could do this now, but you know, we just can bring more nature to our homes. It's better to bring nature to our homes than to bring civilization to nature, you know. So yeah, so there is even such a thing as biophilic design, you know, to design our houses, our living spaces, having in mind nature, having in mind colors of nature, the patterns of nature. It is also proved that it helps us to feel better, to feel like to calm down, to feel less stress. So there are many companies who design their spaces while bearing in mind this biophilic design. And what do you think what it would be if we could move to the forest? Do you have such a vision?
Yeah, I would love that. But then I also see, you know, actually we don't have that big an area, especially in Denmark where I live and Niklas live also. The area of forest, I looked it up today. We only have 12% of the land that is covered in forest, and the average in Europe and in the rest of the world is about 30%. So we have a little job to do in Denmark, I think. But for sure, I would love to.
Yeah. There would be no forest, I think. Yeah, we're gonna move all. Yeah, we're gonna destroy them.
Oh.
So it's better to go to relax, yeah, to the forest. So could you say maybe that this is the best way to relax, to recover yourself? Because forest has physical, mental benefits, yeah?
Oh, yeah, one of the best ways, yes, because forest is still genetically we are still more adapted to being in nature than to urban environment. So I think we all feel intuitively then when we want to relax and we want to unwind, we want to have peaceful time, we just want to go to some green space So I think it's just natural.
Mila, can you talk a little about your connection with the nature? How you remember when it started, or some memories from earlier times, from like childhood till this moment? How you connected it, or what brought you to this all? What you are telling now?
Yeah, actually, when I told that I started to get interested into forest bathing, so it was also when I had this burnout. I also experienced a trauma because the forest outside my window was cut down. It was a little grove, urban grove, but still it was maybe 50 trees were cut down. So I just experienced like grief, and yeah, and then I also started to research how nature affects our health. And then yes, talking about how I started to get interested into nature. So I grew up in a small Ukrainian village. I was born there, and the view was this hills covered with trees. So I was always surrounded with this kind of scenery. And also I remember from my childhood, outside our house there grew a very huge cherry tree, wild cherry tree. There are such cherries in Ukraine. They are wild, but yeah, they are domesticated and they are very big. And I remember this feeling growing up under the tree, under the huge tree, where you just feel safe, you know. In spring, it is beautiful and fragrant with all those blooms, and then you have many cherries, and we as kids we climbed on this tree, and then this safe feeling being with the tree. So I guess I had this connection, and children naturally have connection with nature. So I just had this feeling being connected with this special tree and with the scenery which surrounded me. And I just felt later when I was analyzing all this grief, all these things, why did I feel like I lost, some very very dear part of me when this forest, this grove was cut down. So I just thought, so maybe it was the reminder of my childhood scenery, and I just felt that it was lost. So yeah, everything is interconnected.
I
Thanks.
noticed that everyone who I know who had in childhood tree house is wonderful person. So yeah, very happy that you had also that beautiful childhood where it's possible to be in the nature. Yeah.
Thanks.
And a lot of great people come from Ukraine lately. And where you live? I'm from Ukraine. Everybody from Ukraine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mila, I need to.
Oh, sorry, Anshu. You go.
I just wanted to ask, like, as you said, you had a burnout and you started this activity with respect to the forest. So what was your favorite activity with respect, like, as you mentioned in the documentary, that all the senses need to be involved in the forest. So what was the most enjoyable activity that you did, like that you felt in the forest? And how are the other ways of involving the senses in the forest? Because sound was the part that I understood that was mentioned. So if you can help us just in short know how the other senses are involved, and which was the best part that you liked when you had a burnout.
Okay. So, of course, all the senses can be involved in the forest. For example, yes, we in this film we had the exercise with sound, yeah, and we also during our first bathing walks we do exercises with vision. So, for example, we can search for fractals, for the repeating patterns in nature. It really helps to focus on being here and now, because you are looking to something very specific, and just to forget of your mind, you know, of all the monologues which are going on in your mind. And also, for example, you can just look at the forest and choose some scenery, some specific picture. You can imagine that you are a painter, and then just count how many colors would you like if you want to paint the scenery. So yeah, so then you might notice many more colors and shades than, you know, even just green. So there are many more than green. And also we work with a sense of smell. For example, we can imagine that we are this animal with a sensitive nose, and now we are just going through the forest, and how we orient ourselves, you know, just sniffing everything. And also we can just deconstruct the forest smell, you know, when we come into the forest, there is the smell of the forest, but what it consists of. So we just smell all the things. We can smell moss, we can smell the tree trunks, branches, leaves, and then we see what are those smells. We also work with sense of touch. We can go walk barefoot, so our feet feel the forest floor. We can also just close our eyes, sit somewhere, and just touch around us and try to compare what are the textures. We, with the sense of taste, we usually drink tea at the end of, yeah, at the end of our first bathing walk. So we drink tea from the forest plants that I pick. Yeah, and my most favorite activity, which helped me to overcome burnout, to overcome burnout. So it's called sit spot, when you just go to the same place in the forest regularly, and you just sit there and you just observe. You know, you can observe and use all your senses, and you might notice how this place changes over time, you know, depending on the season, depending on the time of the day. So the soundscape is different, the smells are different. So you get to know this place, and you really connect to this place, and also you let this place to know you. You just sit and let this place to know you, because you come there and this place also wants to know you. So I like this activity very much.
Beautiful and amazing. Thank you so much. Like really, like I felt like I'm in the forest, and I want to do this activity now. Coming to the forest.
Thank
So
you.
thank you so much. Thank you. Beautiful.
This secret place in forest because I do have one where I'm coming.
Hi guys.
Hi.
I just did it.
Wow.
So
You're in
I
the
was
forest.
going to my favorite fairy tale forest,
Wow.
and it's so amazing here because it's like a mud.
Mm.
It's very moldy and it's very wet, and I
Wow.
like this kind of huge roots. And have a look. And here are some deer sometimes when I'm going out. I don't know if you can see it or if it's too dark already.
And which country is it?
I'm outside from Berlin, so it's in Germany.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
And here I have a small river. And a little bit on the back, I don't know if you can see it, there are yellow,
Yeah.
really yellow fields. So I'm surrounded on yellow rock fields.
Thank you,
And-
Tim, for bringing the forest to us today.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And this is really my top secret place. So you are the first friends who are invited you,
Wow.
to join this amazing space. Can you see it, or is it too dark already?
Yeah.
Yes,
You
we
can
can.
see.
Yeah.
It's
Very
wonderful.
beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I really like the roots, because the roots are so like fairy tales. It's really amazing. Can you see it?
Yeah. Yeah. Incredible. Beautiful. Yeah.
Tim, you should stay there all night.
Yes, I was thinking about with you guys, till the battery is off.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Tim. Really great. Thank you.
And a few minutes ago there was sunset, so it was a very golden yellow light, but now it's a little bit too dark, I guess.
We saw that too also in the initial part when you showed the screen. We shared that sunset also. We saw that.
Yes, did you saw it?
Yeah.
So it's like the earth is very dark, so it's really, it's very nourishing. Even the smell is really like wet and very moldy. And for me it's like a sump. So I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but if I'm bare feet, I would go inside. So at the moment for me it's too wet. But the earth is so dark. That's so nourishing. So I tried already to pick some earth from here and bring it in my garden. My garden is actually 2 kilometers or maybe less from here. So I'm living here, not so far. And here's nobody. Here's no walking path. And so here are no people in the last decade, I guess.
Okay, Tim, we are coming to you. Stay there.
Yes. Yes, would be nice. Come.
Yeah, good.
I just want to let you know some impressions, to share some impressions.
Tim, while you show us around in the forest, can I ask a question more for Emilia?
Yes, of course. Go ahead. I just
Or do
don't
you have
want
a
to
question
interrupt.
also?
No, I'm fine.
Don't hesitate. Okay, okay.
No, I'm fine.
Because I have a question from one of our viewers on YouTube, and she's asking, imagine something is like cheating on your mind. Isn't it difficult to shut your mind off thinking of something else? So if I understand it, like if you have something, you know, like stress or these maybe some anxiety or something on your mind that is really loud and really heavy, is it easy to just refocus your mind on something else, for example, nature?
So, yeah, sure. You are people who meditate, so you know so that sometimes it's difficult, but we have different techniques to do that, to help us to refocus. So one of the techniques, it can be like ritual. We do this symbolic ritual before entering the forest space. So we can find some object, just walk through the forest and find some object. It could be a branch, a pine cone, or anything, just stone. And holding this object, we can think about this distracting thought and put it into this object. And then we can just put this object away, saying to ourselves, okay, now this thought can lay there while I will be doing my forest bathing session. And after, I will come back and pick it and think about it again. So it can help. Yeah, and then we enter the forest space without this distracting thoughts. It might help, but also sometimes we, in every forest bathing walk, we do the slow walking exercise invitation. And when you walk very slowly, just do not have any purpose, just your purpose is to feel the pleasure of walking. And sometimes the mind gets gets very quick at this pace when you slow down, so the mind gets, you know, very, very quick. So then we help ourselves by going to our senses. For example, we just try to notice, gently direct our attention to what is moving around us. For example, the branches of the tree, some insect, something. It just helps to focus on here and now. Or we can just feel the textures. It also helps to to direct our attention to the senses of of our body. So yeah. Did I answer your question?
Yes, I think you did. And me myself, I have another question also. I watched it so many times, so many questions came up.
Okay.
So today we all been hugging trees, and I bet all of us felt some grounding and some love by hugging this tree. But I also imagine that what if the tree also felt this hug? You know, are there any studies that show that the trees also in some way are searching for this loving connection to human being, and so actually the other way around, that not the trees giving us wellness but us giving the trees wellness?
I don't know about such studies about how the trees feel towards humans. But yeah, there are studies now that trees are sentient beings and they communicate with each other through their roots and all such stuff. But for example, during our first bathing walk, we do some invitations with trees when we breathe in synchronicity with trees. We just imagine how we exhale and the tree inhales what we exhale and the other way around. So we just feel, the purpose is to feel that we are connected and we need each other. So it's not only we need trees, but the trees also need us because we exhale, and they inhale what we exhale. So yeah, it's just strengthens our connection and, compassion. Yeah.
Wow, Mila, can I just say something? Sorry, I'm Mario. I came in a bit late. My apologies for that. It's just amazing what you said because I didn't know that this was a technique. But the other day I was practicing, our current practice, meditation, and there's a moment where we are invited, let's say, to censor the present state. And in that moment, I, I live in a house and I have a forest nearby. I just call by the forest. And as I was breathing, I was precisely living what you are describing, just by intuition. I was exhaling and I felt like the trees inhaling. And as I was inhaling, I was feeling the air of the trees. And perhaps I should add also, I experienced that with a deep sense of gratitude, right? Like as I exhale what I no longer need, the carbon dioxide, the tensions, and the trees just take it in pure love and transform it back to us as they exhale, as we inhale in oxygen, in freshness, in energy. And this was just like, but I didn't know that actually. It's one of the questions I had. If this has been, I'm sure it has. It started like something like this, no? So it's,
Yeah,
yeah, just
okay.
sharing. It's amazing.
Thanks, Maria. Thanks. Nice. Yes, because, well, it's natural. We actually every day inhale what the trees exhale, So but this exercise, this meditation, or this intuitive, thing, it just helps us to feel gratitude about
Hmm.
everyday things.
Yes. Yeah, and I believe also it's one of those elements that at the end you feel such a connection with the whole planet, right?
Yeah.
And you feel not, there's you and the planet. No, there is you and you are the planet, and the planet is you, and you are so interconnected that
Yeah.
perhaps this is one of that kindness that we need to bring, in order to have a safer and more sustainable world in a way, coming from this deep connection that we are.
Yeah. Yeah, and also we need to know that it's not that we are also needed on this planet. It's not that we are only harming, but we are here also with purpose. So
Ab-
those kind of exercises help also to feel our place here, as one
Absolutely.
of the beings. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mila. That's so important. Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Mary. Thanks.
I would like to add something. I was invited to a forest concert, interactive. So they put, I don't know how to explain in English, but I try. Sensor on the
Tim, you sound like a robot. We cannot hear you.
and
We can see the nice leaf.
to measure the energy energy or the frequency of the tree. And then they had a piano. Okay, maybe I'm too deep in the forest. I'm too deep in the forest. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
But now we can hear
me?
you. Yes.
Yeah, now you're good.
Better now? Can you? Okay. So I was invited to a.
I guess Tim have a lot of connections.
Oh,
He
now
don't
we
need
lost him.
anymore. Yeah.
Forests are good in keeping you connected in a different way. Yeah.
Yes.
Outside the cyberspace. But I think I know what Sims is talking about, because I also seen this technical thing that you put on the plant, you put on the leaves of the plant, and then it's connected to some kind of a speaker. And what actually comes out of this speaker is the most beautiful, harmonious tune. And there's no, you know, bad tones in between. All of them is just pure harmony. It's amazing. It's so beautiful. I see at Sims that I think I got it right. Thank you, Tim. So I saw it in a place called Damanhur in Italy. I don't know if Tim saw it there also. Okay, yeah. It's just so you guys know, it's a society, a spiritual society in Italy, where they do a lot of research in how we connect with plants and trees, and yeah, and they actually do some research in how the trees communicate, and they have a temple called the Temple of Trees, I think, or the Forest Temple. It's amazing. Yeah, so I don't know if there are any more questions.
Can you hear me?
Now, yes.
Yes, I was in Damanhur as well, and I was invited to a concert. There was someone sitting on a piano, on an e-piano, and making one tone, and the trees was responding. So that was really magic. And there was a lot of research, like they figured out that if you are thinking, if you're going into the forest and you are thinking to cut down one tree, then the frequency, the trees have fear. So they have they are all connected by mushrooms in the ground, and they even far away, the tree knows that the tree next to you who are thinking to cut down the tree has fear. So it's a very sensitive organ system. So they are all together very well connected. And if one tree has fear, all the other trees know that. So it's really, really very heart touching me. Yeah. And there was one guy who was a forest person who was writing a book about that, and he got famous, and his book became #1, and it was for 2 or 3 years ago. It was #1 in Germany, and it was about the knowledge of the forest. I don't know exact the name from the book, but it was really amazing. It was mind blowing, actually. Yeah.
So now we have 2 books on our wish list. Thank you, Tim. So if nobody has more questions, then maybe we should maybe I should do my Finnish speak. So Mila, thank you so much for being here. It really has been a great journey. Such inspiring sharing and beautiful movie of the forest and the practice. And while we're all here, maybe I should mention what we have on the program for the next week, because we actually have 2 events coming up the next week. Both of them will be about meditation. The first event will be Thursday, and that will be another beautiful lady called Eva. She'll guide us through meditation. She is from the Given School. And then Saturday, there will be, no, hold on, that will be Sunday. I think I mixed up the dates now.
Sunday.
Yeah, you got Friday with Yeva, and then Sunday.
Beautiful.
The next one. Yeah.
With the next one. You can say the next one because
Yeah,
I
with the
can't
next one, which will be a yoga kind of meditation combination with Saraswati, who has her own. Yeah, Saraswati. Beautiful. And we'll be combining the techniques and ancient wisdom from yoga with some modern practices from her own nice little touch on it, with music and movement and stillness. So that will be Sunday.
So we will learn more tools for our little mindful toolbox. It will be great. And just to warm up a little bit for the 2 major meditation events, we'll have a 4-day meditation challenge. So each day in the following week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll have a small gathering where we guide 15 minutes laughter and meditation. So and Mila, you are for sure welcome to participate in everything that you find interesting. If we can drag you out of the forest.
Thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me. It was such a pleasure to meet you all.
You too, Mila.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Mila. Really, it was a pleasure. And now I want to go to the forest even more. So thank you.
So take care, guys, and see you soon.
Bye.
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 Thank you, Mila. One love.
Thank you, Mila. Beautiful.
Yes, thank you, Mila. Today was like a working day with stress and with release. So you helped me a lot in real life, in real time. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thanks, Arthur.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. I will stop now recording. Thank you, Mila.